Approaching a club as a DJ or promoter can be a very nerve-wracking experience, but I did it just this week. It went so well, so I really wanted to share my journey with you. Hello, what's up YouTube, and welcome to this episode of Road to Professional DJ. Yes, that's right, this week I did find myself visiting a very large club on the south coast of England. I'm not gonna tell you exactly what that club was just yet, and that is because we're still deep in negotiations. I don't actually know if I will be playing or helping to promote at the club that I am currently addressing, but I'm gonna go through exactly the motions I went through as I met them, explain the story and tell exactly to you guys what went down, because this channel is all about my road to becoming a professional DJ. I'm doing whatever it takes to try and make it as a professional DJ, or at least give it a bloody good stab at it. I'm documenting my entire journey along the way from you guys. I started off with no contacts, no gigs, and I've now got myself in a position where I've had loads of gigs in the UK. I run a promotions label on the south coast of England, and I'm going off to Ibiza and Budapest in just a few weeks time. But without any further ado, let me crack on with this video. So, as I say, this week I met up with a club owner who owns or is running a club of 1,500 people on the south coast of England. It's a very commercial club at the moment. It's got 3 rooms. It's normally dedicated to R&B, pop and sort of club house music, mainstream commercial stuff. Basically, the complete opposite to the vibe that I'm in at the moment. I am house, deep house, techno and some proper disco. Not pop, proper disco. That's my genres at the moment, and I went down and had a meeting with the owner. Now, how did I land that? I got a little bit lucky in the sense that I knew someone that knew the guy who's recently started promoting in-house, and he's then linked me up with the owner. So, you could say I got a little bit lucky, but I work near the club and I've been asking loads of people at work if they knew people or anything like that. So, do you know what they say? The harder you try, the luckier you get. Yeah, maybe I got a bit lucky there, but I did work very hard for it. Anyway, to cut to the chase, I met up with the club owner. I sat down, we went through the normal motions, introduce yourself, get chatty, have a nice bit of conversation, a bit of small talk, and then as quickly as possible, I put the conversation onto him and his club. Now, why did I do that? I did that because I wanted to find out information about his club before I started trying to pitch or sell him anything, because that's the way it should work. Otherwise, you could start trying to sell yourself in a way that he's just not interested. So I started asking questions. I started with a very direct question actually, and I would recommend it for you. At the moment, it's a very commercial sort of club. I said to him, what's more important for you at the moment? Is it building a better brand for the club? You know, perhaps doing more events and getting some higher class DJs in and stuff? Or is it about making some more money, some more revenue, some more turnover? And it is a business after all, so it's fair enough if he says that. And lo and behold, he did say he wanted the club busier, he wanted a bit more turnover, he wanted to earn some more money, which is fair enough. It's a business, so I respect that. And then that ultimately changes my entire approach, because now he's not necessarily interested if I can build some cool nights where a half club comes and he's happy because the branding of the club's cool and it's going in a new direction that he wants to go in. No, it's hard numbers. He wants people through the door, so that's fine. Myself, as a house and techno disco brand, that's actually quite a good opportunity for me, because I can come into his club with something new. Now, the area of the world he's in is by 2 towns of about 25,000 each, and he's the only club there. So what I started to pitch to him, or what I started to think to him, was we could start doing a regular house and techno night, and that will get him into a new market. But before I go actually too far into the exact deal itself and where we maybe went, let me say some of the questions I asked him which could be of benefit for you. So, first of all, how many rooms are you open? Well, on Saturday nights, they've got 3 rooms open, and he doesn't want to change any of the music or anything that's going on with that. So, Saturday nights, I found off very quickly, are off the cards. On a Friday night, he opens 1 room, which means there's 2 other rooms left around. Have you had any big events before? Yes, they have, but they didn't actually go too well. Their main room is a 700 capacity, the next one is a 600 capacity, the next one is a few hundred. They sold virtually out to Tom Zanatti a few years ago. So they sold like 1,500 tickets or something like that, and the club was too busy. People weren't able to get into the main room to see him. So big events on massive scales like that potentially aren't actually on the cards because the club's infrastructure doesn't quite work with it. Or if we were to go with an event like that, we would have to think of something a little bit more tactical to make sure it works correctly. What impact do the students have on your nightclub? Now, the reason I ask that is because if the students have a massive impact, I don't want to be doing events there through the summer, or at least I don't want to be starting to do events there during the summer. If I start doing events there during the summer, none of the students are going to be there and it's going to be rubbish. Well, he told me that the students have an impact, but actually he thinks the local university student intake has been going down over the last few years, and stereotypically there's been a lot of international students coming from backgrounds that aren't so up for going out as potentially UK students are, or at least that's what he's experiencing at the moment. Now, that's not racist, he's just saying that a lot of the international students he feels aren't going out like potentially some of the UK students are, so that student size, which is normally in his population to go out, is actually decreasing in population. He did say though that the students make an impact, but there's a big local following which goes out to the nightclub, which is very good for some diversity. I then asked him if he's worked with promoters before, and if so, how did he discuss that on business terms? So, he had worked with promoters before. This had been a little while now, he hadn't had anyone in a long time, and the way it worked was they keep the bar, we would keep the door, or the promoter would keep the door. This is a very standard way of working. Then, finally, I just asked some standard questions which you should all ask, and that is, would you supply the security? Yes. Would you be running the bars and then supplying all the bar staff? Yes. Would you provide the equipment, mainly the mixing desks? Yes. 3 positive answers that I would look for in any clubs that you want to throw some events at. Okay, so that was my sort of quick fire of questions. I feel like I managed to get a lot of positive information out of him. The main downside is that Saturday nights are off the menu. This is worse because in the UK, the Saturday nights are generally the biggest, and if you want to book a headliner, Saturday is definitely the best day to be doing that on, so it would make my job a little bit harder working on a Friday. But I went away without pitching anything too directly and decided to come up with a plan. Now, my plan of a pitch was, if we're going to be bringing a new genre to the club, to the area, we're really going to need some time to build it. I don't think throwing big headliners on Friday nights, and by big headliners I mean headliners that you can actually restrict to one room, because of the issue they had before. Restricting it to one room then means the big headliner isn't as big because you can't get the potential revenue out of it. Anyway, I decided that headliners is probably off the cards. The best way to build this local scene would be to be doing gigs every single Friday of house, techno music, underground electronic music. Now, the reason that is I want to make it as easy for the clubbers as possible, so that they know on Friday nights at this club you can get electronic music. Friday nights at this club, electronic music. Drill it into them, drill it in hard, and with the right marketing, social media marketing, events every single week, people are going to start understanding that there's these events on, they're there every Friday, and it can become a bit of a no-brainer to them if they are enjoying the events. Now, I listed the rooms earlier. There's a 700 cap, there's a 600 cap, and there's a 200 cap. I'd love to go straight into the 700 capacity venue, but it's not realistic. I'd rather start at the 200 capacity venue, which is a small venue, and we would actually have a chance of filling it. If we do fill it and it goes really well, those nights are going to be amazing, and therefore more people are going to come, and then we'll make it into the next room, and I think that would be the best way of growing it. Now, I will definitely be sticking with house and techno, underground genres, maybe some disco sometimes, but I really want to bring a new crowd, develop a new scene in that area. Now, the other reason I want to do that is because he said he doesn't want to take anything away from his Saturday nights. Now, I have to respect that, and I want to respect that because I want to work with this guy to make sure I can build this scene. Another potential issue was at the moment on a Friday night he's opening up his disco room. Now they're getting about 400 people, so it's a 700 capacity, it's a 600 capacity room, that one, and they're getting 400 people. They're doing well. That's a good night. The risk is if I come in and start doing something or tampering with that, I could have screwed over his Friday nights as well. Now I don't want to do that for two reasons. Number one, I'm a decent human being, and number two, that's not going to bode well for me either. So I'm going to have to develop a new strategy. Now if I'm not going to be altering that, I probably can't be asking any money off the door. So if I'm not asking for any money off the door, I think I'm going to ask for a set fee to run the night. And that will pay for the DJs, that will pay for promoting it, and that will pay for running the events. So that's going to be my structure. And I've explained my reasons as to why that's going to be the structure, and I've pitched it in a very professional way to the owner. Now, I am still waiting for feedback. I don't care, and I'm going to be so open with you guys if he comes back and he says no. If he comes back and I've got a new proposition or a new way of working, I will keep you guys in the loop. But this has been a genuine encounter with a club owner about my pitch of running nights down there. So I hope this can give you guys a bit of an insight into what sort of these conversations are with club to promoter, what some of the incentives are for the club, and then how I'm going to try and fulfill that with what I can offer. So anyway, if you did find this video of any content, of any value, please do give it a thumbs up, and of course do subscribe for more good stuff coming soon. Cheers!